September. I can't even believe it. The 14th of 2024, and we've been balls deep up in um, the year, if you will. I don't know how it works across the world, but it's pretty deep, I would say, over here into the year. Um, I never done this before. It's kind of cool, but it's a little bit distracting. Uh, it's kind of hard to navigate. Actually, everything's in reverse. It's in regards to what you're seeing an old dog over there. I don't think I can do any close-ups. But that is a dog right there. So I wanted to do a little bit of experimenting. I don't know if that's yet obvious. First of all, the camera angle. Secondly, right now, see, I'm not to get very technical with you. A lot of people might not be able to follow this, so I apologize for getting very technical, but I wanted to see how good my internet flow would be without the Wi-Fi. To get off the Wi-Fi, I'm sure people have some pretty serious phone technology or what have you. But a lot of times I see people do like IRL streams. And certainly sometimes in IRL streams, it's going to be a lot of technology, but I know for a lot of people, they're probably just using a cell phone. It's two people up in the building. I don't even believe it. I think they're robots. I think I'm gonna just continue. But yeah, an experiment. I mean, this is part of the experiment. Perhaps this is a terrible, terrible, terrible idea I'm doing right now to get off of the Wi-Fi. But alas, the Wi-Fi signal is very. Hey, look, it's a dog. She don't be moving much. We got Barfine up in the building. What in the hell, Barfine? See, my thing is like last times it's a surprise to me that I'm coming on. It's always somewhat spontaneous. I mean, just I don't know, 5, 10 minutes ago, maybe I was sitting on the kitchen counter and I was eating chocolate covered raisins, and it was pretty delicious. Having a water, getting hydrated. All right. And then I decided, I might try this, but it could indeed be a terrible idea that I'm doing right now. It's a nice visual. I'm sure you're very thrilled by it because there's like nothing moving over here. But that's how it goes around here. It's actually all in reverse, if you can imagine that. In real life, it's actually you're seeing stuff in reverse. And it's kind of freaking me out. I don't know how if to go left or right. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Uh, and I don't know if perhaps the audio is coming in clear at all. Milk duds, hell yeah. Well, no, actually, it's kind of like milk duds, but if they're kind of like milk duds, but from what I understand, milk duds don't even have really nothing in them, right? Like inside of them. If I remember correctly, it's been a quite some time since I had milk duds, but I did used to enjoy milk duds actually, especially at the movie theater, way way back several lifetimes ago, in which I would go to the movie theater, and it would actually be worth it to like buy candy there, and but not a lot of candy. Like I didn't, but like I would go for the milk duds because it's chocolatey and delicious, and actually it takes kind of a while to chew it up. That's why, especially I would go for them because they lasted. You know, caramel and the milk duds. Yeah, that's probably definitely another benefit as far as the caramel inside. See, caramel I wouldn't categorize that with the raisin. Those are two totally different. Those are like different states of matter. Caramel up in there, which is a good idea. And actually, they did have that at the store. We're talking about the best store in the world, probably the local HEB. They had, they have an aisle that's dedicated to that sort of stuff. They got you where you can find candied nuts and other assorted candied things that are, you know, not as poisonous as most candies, that you could buy at the front of the store. Anyways, they did have an option for a caramel. It was like a cup. It was like a Reese's cup. And I'll be damned if this thing is coming in clear at all, because I do know people do in real life streams sometimes, and I'm figuring why not try it here? They advise against it, especially if you have a Wi-Fi router, which I do, but it's completely across the whole house, and I'm actually outside and of a kind of see, it's very nice outside. That's why I like to come out here. It's a good idea. It's being at just a nice little peaceful, maybe open, spacious. There's plenty of room to breathe out here type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have nice vibes, and it's a good idea to have nice vibes, I think. There's this one guy, a big homie. You may or may not know about him, a big homie, CC. He's not my leader or anything like that, but I really appreciate the stories that he has and the insight on the behind the scenes type of stuff, like to from like celebrity gossip that you might not hear to all the way to like some damn aliens probably living up maybe not you maybe can't call them aliens, some sort of creatures living up under the ocean, on the bottom of the ocean, creatures. I mean, a whole spectrum of things coming down with Big Homie. If you ever heard of him, I wonder if Bar Fine has ever called in. I don't know if Big Homie CC has ever had a call in um, segment, but if he has had one, I'm sure Bar Fine's called in. Big Homie CC's got a lot to say about milk duds, right? And me too. I really did enjoy them, but it gone out of the time, gone out of the times. We're like always living, and I know, man, we've been living here for a while here, and especially long ago, it was just though we achieved some sort of stasis or something in this country in which stuff was just not going to end, and everything was going to be the exact same forever. I don't know. Way back in my golden days, I guess, if you will. I guess it was affordable to go to the movie theater. And it was actually like it actually entertained us to do it, so we did it. And then I do remember, and it's like, man, I think back even, and I say, God bless them, with my parents and stuff, man, buying us all sort of junk. Inflation wasn't as bad probably, but just buying all this junk because and it still costed money, and they still had to go through the damn lines. It's like, is it all worth it? I don't think it ever would be worth it, but perhaps it was worth it back then. You could buy a whole tub of popcorn for a nickel, you know? So anyway, so I'm here in the back, and I'm actually just experimenting. And in fact, like I said, it's many different levels and factors to this experimentation. Like for one, whoever came in here, and Barfine already established himself, and whoever might linger into here, just know this. If you could hear my words clearly, you clicked on a video that says something about my deepest, sweetest desires. And that in itself is an experiment, ladies and gentlemen, because if you dare wanted to know about my deepest, sweetest desires, and you went ahead, oh, there's a dog right here. Check that out. That's on live stream. I was just figuring out like some of the features and capabilities. And again, I really don't know how good it's coming in, but let's see. This is a dog drinking water. It should be eating dog food. All right. If anybody could hear me, just know this. I don't have like money to just be throwing around. When I came here and I got here, she be eating this dog. I was little. We thought to give a dog. It's highly processed and very unnatural for a dog to eat this, anyways. Very unnatural. It's quite obviously unnatural. That's the thing about it. I mean, like, who the hell thought this up first? Oh yeah, your dog wants to eat cereal all day. I don't know, but yeah, it was an experiment to see if you come out. I might actually switch it up. Right now you're checking reverse. I don't even expect you to know what that says. But we might talk about it later. There was a man, right? See, like, I don't know how long this experiment's gonna take or gonna be. I was thinking something like 15 minutes, maybe. That way, if I'm wasting my time, that way, if there's no good quality of what I'm doing right now, it's like, uh, it's only 15 minutes, I guess, But if it was any longer than that, I tell you what, I'd be devastated. All right, but something that we might talk about. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Obviously, you already know. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs, or like vice versa. That's like took over. Might I mention, and everybody knows, this is the hand of God. So, like, God, of course, and they say Jesus be the King of Kings, but God is who is said to what do you what I don't know if you say install leaders, make leaders of nations and stuff, right? In the Bible. That's what's insinuated, but it's like on another note, a metaphorical note. But kind of the same. It's like a kingmaker, if you will, right? And not only is he a kingmaker, but he's a meme maker. God is definitely in charge of the meme world. And what I mean to say is that it don't even matter if you're good or you're bad, or you're left or you're right, or you're pansexual like a Miley Cyrus. Um, the those who make memes, those who are memes and meme worthy, are chosen by God. I think that's what's obvious. You can't really make a meme like the hot to a girl. You just that had to happen randomly and organic. But I heard that hot to a girl, she got like $1 million deal or something through Logan Paul or something like that. And God bless her. I'm not trying to get in her way, the bag. But that's kind of wow. All right. I just hope and pray that she's entertaining. Because here's the thing, just because one lady dropped one lighter one time doesn't mean that they're entertaining. And it's so interesting thing actually that there's a lot of people who are very entertaining or very impressive out there who do very impressive things that we're just in awe of, and things that like put people in our minds in like legend status or larger than life. And it's interesting how even a lot of those people cannot have a podcast. Or, I mean, they could have a podcast, but it's not going to be nearly as popular as they would assume it to be, right? because you could be Michael Jordan, for example. Michael Jordan, and I don't think he has a podcast, nor do I think that he wants one. But I'm saying it's like if he did have a podcast, it likely wouldn't be as popular as perhaps one might think it'll be. I vaguely remember. I never caught it myself, but perhaps I could look into it, and I still haven't. And I think about it, and it's like, dude, I, I don't know if I care enough. But I'm pretty sure that like the Obamas have like a podcast, right? The Obamas, didn't they have a podcast or something like that? And what does it even mean? What does it even mean? I have to look into it because perhaps they just meant I don't know what they were doing. It's like I hear about them doing things, and I'd rather not hear about it. All right, so there was this man. I'm gonna mention this and then get up out of here. And then we're gonna like hop on a different live stream in which that I'll move not very far at all, and I'll still ramble like a crazy, insane homeless, but in a home person, only a few feet away, but upon the Wi-Fi, which technologically speaking, is mad superior. All right, or actually, it's the only amount of technology that I can muster up that'll keep us connected. You feel me? All right, but before I get out of here, I will mention, and you might have heard in People Magazine. I don't know. The man recently was gone ahead and I apparently, and this is local news. It's like I can imagine. That's I've said before. You probably live in a place where local news pops off like this all the time. Gets swept under the rug, perhaps, or just maybe just it's not really a big deal. But I was reading an article, and apparently recently, it turns out this article is from what date? Oh man, I can't barely. It's from September 11th. And this article is actually from September 11th. And here's the thing: we all know September 11th does not exist and has never existed. You understand? Bella sure understands. What the hell were we talking about? Okay, so there was this father, and he just got found guilty, and he's gonna have to serve some jail time. Now we're not gonna read. We're gonna read about it on the next stream, right? We're not gonna do it right now, but he got arrested. This father, and the little details that I remember from earlier. He. This is a father of 5 children. To give a little context, 5 children, 4 daughters, and then get this, a son. I think at the end, if I understand correctly. And so it turns out that the father had his suspicions. Sorry, the father turned into quite a conspiracy theorist. So he got it in his brain that his son was going to be a gay. All right, we're going to talk about this later. At his 2-year-old son, he's afraid his 2-year-old son's gay. And so, from what I understand, what he did or what he admitted to doing, and we'll talk about it later, is slapping his son in the face, 2-year-old son in the face, repeatedly slapping him in the face. 2-year-old son. Why? Thought he might be gay. Well, that's kind of local news, man. That ain't good. I don't think it's good, but we'll discuss it later. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. And it is taking over TikTok. Donald Trump is obviously one of the top meme makers of all time. And memes surely penetrate throughout the generations, down to the wee little babies that we yet still have. Still having babies. And even they, and especially they, shall understand and decipher these memes. All right. So I'll holler at y'all a little bit later about why it's probably not a good idea to slap around your 2-year old son and they get arrested. It's not a very, can't be around children. And I think you probably shouldn't have done it. All right. You probably shouldn't have done all that. Doing a little bit too much, as the kids say. You were getting litty and you were doing some wild, wild, out of this world type stuff. But that's what happens in San Antonio and probably wherever the hell you're at. It's the end of days and the end of America. And I'll have to holler at y'all. I don't know if you can see it, but you got Bella walking in the background, just a stumbling around like an old lady does. Bella is the dog, the old dog version of an old cat lady, if you understand what I mean. I'll holler at y'all here in a little bit of seconds. All right.